Have you ever thought about those strange moments when things just seem to line up perfectly? Not just a little bit, but in a way that feels almost magical? Imagine you're thinking about an old friend you haven't seen in years, and then, moments later, your phone rings and it's them. Or perhaps you're looking for a very specific book, one that's hard to find, and you walk into a tiny, dusty shop you've never visited before, and there it is, sitting right on top of a pile. Are these just happy accidents, random chance playing a trick on us? Or is there something deeper at play, a hidden thread weaving through the fabric of our everyday lives, connecting things in ways we can't quite see? These aren't just silly superstitions or wishful thinking. Throughout history, people have puzzled over these meaningful coincidences. They feel different from everyday events. They have a certain sparkle, a little jolt that makes us pause and wonder. It's as if reality itself has glitched for a moment, revealing a secret pattern that usually stays hidden. We often brush them off, telling ourselves it was just luck, or our minds playing tricks. But deep down, a tiny voice might whisper, "What if it's more?" Think about a time you were feeling very sad or worried, and then a bird landed on your windowsill, singing a sweet song that somehow lifted your spirits. Or you were struggling with a problem, and a sentence in a book you randomly opened seemed to give you the exact answer you needed. These aren't cause and effect situations. The bird didn't know you were sad, and the book didn't know your question. Yet, in that moment, they felt perfectly connected, holding a special meaning just for you. What if these moments are not just random? What if they are whispers from something bigger, something that connects our inner thoughts and feelings with the world outside? What if they are clues, nudging us to look closer at the unseen forces that shape our experiences? It's a question that has fascinated thinkers for ages, and it leads us to a remarkable idea from a very wise man who spent his life exploring the mysteries of the human mind. He believed these strange alignments were not just coincidences, but something much more profound. This wise man was Carl Jung, a brilliant thinker who looked deep into the human mind. He was a doctor of the mind, a psychologist, and he saw that those moments we just talked about, those strange, meaningful coincidences, were not just random. He gave them a special name: synchronicity. It's a big word, but it describes something very simple and yet very magical. Jung believed that synchronicity is when two or more things happen at the same time, and even though they don't cause each other, they are connected by a shared meaning. It's like a secret handshake between your inner world and the outer world. Your thoughts, feelings, or dreams might connect with something happening right outside you, in a way that feels very important and special. It's not about luck, and it's not about magic tricks. It's about a deeper order, a hidden pattern in the universe that sometimes shows itself to us. Imagine the universe as a giant, beautiful tapestry. Most of the time, we only see a small piece of it, and things look separate. But Jung suggested that sometimes, for a brief moment, we get to see how different threads, which normally seem far apart, are actually woven together in a meaningful way. It's a glimpse of the whole picture, where everything is connected. Jung spent many years listening to people's dreams, their fears, and their hopes. He noticed these synchronicities happening over and over again, not just to him, but to many others. He saw them as clues, like little signs from a deeper part of ourselves, or from the world itself, telling us something important. It's a way for the universe to communicate with us, not with words, but with events that hold special meaning. He called it a causal connecting principle. That just means it's a way things connect that isn't about one thing causing another. It's about meaning. When a synchronicity happens, it often feels like a puzzle piece falling perfectly into place, giving us clarity or comfort exactly when we need it. It makes us feel less alone, more guided, as if there's a gentle hand steering things behind the scenes. Jung's idea of synchronicity helps us understand these special moments, inviting us to look beyond just what we see and touch, and to sense the deeper currents flowing through life. It's a way to unlock a hidden understanding of how our lives are truly shaped. So, let's break down this idea of synchronicity into something easy to grasp. Imagine a normal day. You drop a ball, and it falls to the ground. That's cause and effect. You let go, gravity pulled it down. Simple. But synchronicity is different. It's like two separate events happening at the same time, or very close in time, that don't cause each other, but they feel like they belong together because they have a special meaning for you. Think of it like this: you're feeling very worried about a test at school. You walk outside, and you see a butterfly gently land on your hand. It stays there for a moment, and you feel a sudden sense of calm, a feeling that everything will be okay. The butterfly didn't know about your test, and your worry didn't make the butterfly appear. There's no normal cause and effect link between them. But for you, in that moment, seeing the butterfly felt like a sign, a meaningful message that brought you peace. That's synchronicity. It's not about making things happen with your mind, like wishing for rain and then it rains. Instead, it's about noticing when the outside world seems to mirror something important happening inside you. It's a moment when the universe seems to nod in agreement with your deepest thoughts or feelings, even if silently. Another way to think about it is like two clocks that are set far apart, but they chime at the exact same moment. One clock didn't make the other chime. They just happened to be perfectly aligned in time, creating a special moment. Synchronicity is when events in life align not by accident, but by meaning. These moments can be big or small. They can be very personal, like finding a lost item right after you dreamed about it. Or they can be shared, like when a group of friends all say the same unusual word at the same time. The key is that feeling of, aha! That feeling that this isn't just random, but carries a message or a special connection. It's a glitch in the everyday, showing us a deeper layer of reality where things are woven together in surprising and meaningful ways. It's a peek behind the curtain of the ordinary, revealing a universe that is far more interconnected than we usually imagine. To truly understand how synchronicity works, let's look at a famous story from Jung himself. It happened when he was working with a young woman who was having a very hard time. She was very smart, but also very stuck in her own thoughts, always trying to understand everything with her mind and not feeling much. She would talk about her dreams, but she couldn't seem to make any progress in feeling better. One day, she told Jung about a dream she had the night before. In her dream, someone gave her a beautiful golden scarab beetle. Now, in ancient Egypt, the scarab beetle was a very important symbol. It stood for new life, rebirth, and transformation. It was a powerful sign of change. As the woman was telling Jung this dream, something truly amazing happened. There was a gentle tapping sound at Jung's window. It wasn't loud, just a light tap. Jung, curious, looked over and saw a small, flying insect outside, bumping against the glass. He opened the window, and what flew into the room? A golden-green scarab beetle. It was a very rare type of beetle, one that hardly ever comes into houses in that part of the world. Jung caught the beetle and showed it to the woman. Here she was, talking about a golden scarab in her dream, and at that very moment, a real golden scarab appeared right in front of them. It was a perfect, meaningful coincidence. This wasn't just a random bug. For the woman, who was so stuck in her own mind, seeing the dream come to life in such a clear way was a huge shock. It was a moment where the invisible world of her dream connected perfectly with the real world outside the window. It broke through her rigid thinking. She was so surprised and moved by this event that it helped her to finally open up and begin to heal. For Jung, this wasn't just luck. It was a powerful example of synchronicity. The inner image of the scarab in her dream found its mirror in the outer world, creating a moment of profound meaning that helped her change. It showed him that there's a deep connection between our thoughts, our dreams, and the events that happen around us, a connection that goes beyond simple cause and effect. It was a vivid demonstration of how reality can glitch to reveal something truly profound. The idea of meaningful connections between seemingly separate events isn't new. Long before Jung, people all over the world, in every culture, told stories and myths that captured this very same feeling. Think about the ancient Greeks and Romans, who believed in omens and prophecies. A flight of birds in a certain pattern, or a sudden clap of thunder, wasn't just random weather, it was a sign from the gods, a message about what was to come. These were considered powerful moments where the divine world touched the human world, guiding or warning them. In many Native American stories, animals often appear at important moments, acting as spirit guides or messengers. A fox crossing your path might not just be an animal, but a symbol of cleverness or a nudge to be more watchful. The animal's appearance at that specific time, when you might be facing a challenge, makes the event deeply meaningful, even if the fox didn't know you needed a message. It's the alignment of the inner need with the outer event that creates the magic. Even in fairy tales we read as children, we find these connected events. The lost slipper leads the prince to Cinderella. The magical object appears just when the hero needs it most to overcome an obstacle. These aren't just convenient plot devices. They echo a deep human understanding that sometimes the universe seems to conspire to bring about a certain outcome, or to reveal a hidden truth. These ancient stories and myths show us that humans have always sensed a deeper pattern, a hidden language in the world around them. They understood that life isn't always a straight line of cause and effect. Sometimes things just happen together in a way that feels too perfect to be random, too full of meaning to ignore. They might have called it fate, divine intervention, or simply magic. Jung, with his idea of synchronicity, gave a modern name to this ancient wisdom, showing us that these connected events are not just stories, but a real part of how our minds and the world interact. He helped us see that the glitches, in reality, are not errors, but profound revelations. The scarab story showed us how a symbol from a dream can magically appear in real life, pointing to a deeper meaning. This isn't just a coincidence, it's a key part of how synchronicity works. Our minds, especially our dreams, speak in symbols. A symbol isn't just one thing, it's something that stands for many things at once, holding a richer meaning than a simple word. Think about a dream where you are flying. It might not mean you literally want to fly, but it could symbolize freedom, escape, or feeling powerful. Or a dream about being lost might mean you feel unsure about something in your waking life. These symbols are like secret messages from a deeper part of your mind, trying to tell you something important about yourself. Jung believed that these symbols are not just random pictures. They come from something he called the collective unconscious, a shared pool of wisdom and images that all humans carry inside them, passed down through generations. This is where those ancient myths and stories get their power, too. They speak to these universal symbols. When a synchronicity happens, often a symbol from our inner world, like the scarab in the dream, shows up in the outer world. It's like the universe is using the same symbolic language our dreams use to tell us something. If you're often dreaming of water, and then you keep seeing images of waves, or hear a song about the ocean right when you're feeling emotional, these might be symbolic connections. Water often symbolizes feelings or change. The repeated appearance of the symbol, both inside and outside, creates a meaningful moment. Learning to notice these symbols, both in our dreams and in our daily lives, can help us find the clues to synchronicity. It's like learning to read a secret code. A certain animal might keep showing up in your life, or a specific color, or even a phrase. When these symbols appear at just the right moment, they can light up a hidden path, guiding us or giving us insight into what is truly happening within us and around us. They are the language of connection, weaving together our deepest thoughts with the visible world. It's important to understand that when we talk about synchronicity, we are not talking about magic spells or supernatural powers. Jung wasn't suggesting that you can wish for something and it will magically appear. Synchronicity is much more subtle and profound than that. It's not about making things happen, but about noticing the meaningful way things do happen. Think of it less like a trick and more like a bridge. Synchronicity builds a bridge between your inner world, your thoughts, your feelings, your dreams, your deepest questions, and the outer world, the events, people, and objects you encounter every day. It's a moment when the two worlds, usually seen as separate, come together in a flash of shared meaning. Imagine you're walking in a forest. You might feel very peaceful and calm inside. At the same time, the sun might be shining through the trees, making beautiful patterns on the ground, and a gentle breeze might be rustling the leaves. These outer events don't cause your inner peace, but they match it perfectly. They resonate with it. A synchronicity is a moment where this resonance becomes so strong, so clear, that it feels like a direct message. It's not about mind over matter in a simple way. It's about the universe reflecting what is happening inside you. When you are deeply focused on a problem, or searching for an answer, or open to a new idea, the universe sometimes seems to arrange things to give you a sign or a clue. It's as if your inner readiness creates a space for the outer event to make sense, to have that special aha feeling. So, synchronicity isn't a supernatural event that breaks the rules of nature. Instead, it reveals a deeper, often unseen, order within nature itself. It shows us that reality is richer and more interconnected than our everyday thinking usually allows us to see. It reminds us that we are not just separate beings walking through a random world, but part of a larger, meaningful whole, constantly interacting and exchanging silent messages with the world around us. It's a dance between what's inside and what's outside, performed in moments of profound meaning. Understanding synchronicity isn't just about marveling at strange events, it's a powerful tool for understanding ourselves. When we start noticing these meaningful coincidences, we begin to see patterns in our own thoughts and feelings that we might have missed before. It's like turning on a special light that helps us see the hidden pathways in our own minds. Imagine you're constantly thinking about making a big change in your life, but you feel scared. Then, you keep hearing stories of people who bravely changed their lives, or you see a movie about someone overcoming a big fear. These outer events, while not directly caused by your thoughts, resonate with your inner struggle. They act like mirrors, reflecting your own inner process back to you. By paying attention to these synchronicities, you can recognize that your desire for change is strong, and that you are not alone in facing fears. Synchronicity often happens when we are at a crossroads, or when we are struggling with a deep question. The universe, in its own mysterious way, seems to offer clues. If you are feeling lost, and then you, randomly, find a book about finding your purpose, or a friend suddenly shares a story about their own journey of discovery, these aren't just accidents. They are synchronicities that highlight your inner search. They show you that your mind is actively working on these questions, and the world is responding. These moments help us connect the dots between our inner world and our outer experiences. They can reveal recurring themes in our lives, showing us what issues we are truly grappling with, what lessons we need to learn, or what directions we might be meant to explore. For example, if you keep having dreams about being trapped, and then you notice you always get stuck in traffic when you're feeling overwhelmed at work, these could be synchronistic patterns. They tell you something important about your feelings of being trapped, both inside and outside. By tuning into synchronicity, we become more aware of our own inner landscape. We learn to listen to the whispers of our intuition and to recognize the signs that the world offers. It helps us see that our thoughts and feelings are not isolated, but are part of a larger, interconnected dance with life itself, revealing the patterns that truly shape who we are and where we are going. Synchronicity doesn't just help us understand ourselves, it also sheds a special light on our relationships with other people. Think about how often we feel a deep connection with someone, or how certain people seem to enter our lives at just the right moment. These aren't always just random encounters. Sometimes, they are woven into the larger tapestry of synchronicity. Have you ever met someone new and felt an instant, strong connection, as if you've known them forever? It's more than just shared interests, it's a feeling of deep resonance. Jung would suggest that in such moments, there's a synchronistic alignment. Perhaps this person carries a certain energy, or represents a symbolic theme that is very active in your own inner world at that time. They might appear to help you learn something, or to support you through a challenge, becoming a living symbol of what you need. Consider a time when you were deeply troubled by a problem, and you didn't know who to talk to. Then, out of the blue, an old friend calls, or a family member reaches out, sensing your distress without you saying a word. This isn't mind reading, it's a synchronistic connection. Your inner need and their outer action aligned in a meaningful way, providing comfort or guidance exactly when it was needed. These patterns of connection can also show us things about the lessons we need to learn in relationships. If you keep finding yourself in similar relationship situations, perhaps with people who share a certain quality, these repetitive patterns could be synchronistic. They might be highlighting an inner theme or a part of yourself that needs attention. The universe, through these repeated encounters, might be giving you a chance to understand and grow. By being aware of synchronicity in our relationships, we can see others not just as separate individuals, but as participants in a larger, interconnected dance of life. We can appreciate the profound timing of certain meetings, the unspoken understanding that can pass between people, and the way others can act as mirrors or guides on our own journeys. It teaches us that our relationships are often more than just social ties. They are vital threads in the grand design of our lives, rich with meaning and purpose. As we journey through these ideas, it feels like stepping into a quiet forest, where every rustle of leaves and ray of sunlight holds a whispered secret. The concepts of synchronicity are not meant to be rushed or grasped quickly, but rather to be pondered, like a gentle stream flowing over smooth stones. They invite us to slow down, to breathe, and to open our hearts to a way of seeing the world that is both ancient and deeply true. This isn't about proving something with hard facts, but about sensing a truth that resonates deep within us, like a forgotten melody remembered. It's about recognizing the soft glow of meaning that sometimes appears in the ordinary moments of life. When we talk about the inner world connecting with the outer, imagine it as a silent conversation between your soul and the vast, unfolding universe. There's a quiet magic in that exchange, a subtle dance where everything has its place and its purpose. The wisdom of Jung gently reminds us that we are not just creatures of logic and reason. We are also beings of intuition, feeling, and spirit. And in these special moments of synchronicity, these different parts of ourselves come alive, bridging the seen and the unseen. It's a humbling thought, isn't it? To consider that the universe might be speaking to us, not through loud pronouncements, but through delicate alignments and meaningful echoes. Allow these thoughts to settle within you, like dust motes dancing in a sunbeam. There is no need to force understanding, but simply to allow the possibility to bloom. This deep connection, this elegant pattern of synchronicity, is always there, waiting for us to notice its gentle presence. It's a reminder that life is a rich tapestry, woven with threads of purpose and wonder, far beyond what our busy minds often perceive. It grounds us in the knowledge that we are part of something vast and beautiful, a story constantly unfolding with grace and profound significance. When we begin to truly notice these meaningful coincidences, a wonderful shift happens within us. We start to feel less like tiny, separate boats tossed on a vast, uncaring ocean, and more like integral parts of a grand, flowing river. Noticing synchronicity helps us feel deeply connected to the world around us, and even to something beyond ourselves. Imagine walking through your day, not just seeing things as random, but as potentially holding a secret message, a gentle nudge from the universe. This new way of seeing can make ordinary moments feel special. A particular song comes on the radio just as you're thinking about a specific memory, or you glance at a clock and it reads the exact time you were born. These small glitches remind us that there's more to life than what meets the eye, a sense of intelligent design, a feeling that things are unfolding with purpose. This feeling of connection is like finding missing pieces to a puzzle you didn't even know you were working on. When an outer event perfectly mirrors an inner thought, it validates our feelings and intuitions. It's a comforting whisper that says, "You are on the right path," or, You are not alone in this. This can bring a deep sense of peace and a feeling of being supported by something larger than our individual selves. It helps us trust our intuition more, too. If we learn to see the world as a place full of subtle signs and meaningful alignments, we become more open to our own inner knowing. We might start to feel a greater sense of wonder and curiosity about life, actively looking for the hidden meanings instead of just letting things pass us by. Ultimately, noticing synchronicity helps us to bridge the gap between our personal story and the universal story. It reminds us that our individual lives are not separate from the grand dance of existence, but beautifully woven into it. This realization can fill us with a quiet joy, a feeling of belonging, and a profound sense of awe for the intricate, mysterious ways in which life unfolds, connecting us all in invisible, yet powerful, ways. It transforms how we view reality, making us feel truly at home in the world. As we come to the end of our quiet exploration, we've touched upon an idea that truly changes how we see the world. Jung's synchronicity invites us to look beyond the surface, to find the hidden threads that connect everything. It's a gentle reminder that life is far more wondrous and purposeful than we often give it credit for. We are not just living in a world of random events, but in a world that often speaks to us, if only we learn to listen with an open heart. This isn't about finding complicated answers, but about cultivating a simple awareness. It's about sensing the poetry in everyday life, the silent wisdom that unfolds when our inner world and the outer world meet in a moment of shared meaning. It's about trusting that spark of recognition, that little shiver of knowing, when something feels too perfect to be just a coincidence. So, as you go back into your day, carrying these thoughts with you, I invite you to pause and look within. Think back over your own life. Have there been moments that felt like more than just luck? Times when a dream seemed to come true in an unexpected way, or when a person appeared at just the right moment, carrying a message you needed to hear? Perhaps a specific symbol or idea kept showing up, both in your thoughts and in the world around you, guiding you in a gentle way. What if those moments weren't just glitches in reality, but loving whispers from a deeper part of life, trying to show you something important about yourself, your path, or your connections to others? What if, by simply noticing them, you could unlock a richer, more connected understanding of your own unique story? Take a moment to truly reflect. What have those synchronicities in your life been trying to tell you? And how might your world change if you started listening a little more closely to their silent, meaningful song? The answers may be waiting for you, woven into the very fabric of your own unfolding journey.